No, I think it was the Financial Times I was doing an interview with recently, and they asked me this exact question about where where does Yoon go in order to strengthen the alliance, in order to I don't know, refute North Korea more or something. And like, what does he do to be more hawkish on China? Like, what does that look like? And I'm like, dude, there's not a lot of room for chit. Like the differences here between the candidates, maybe you guys disagree, we'll talk about it, but like I feel like the differences are pretty stylized, particularly on foreign policy, because China, South Korea is, there are structural constraints, you know, like the defense establishment is building out its super army with missiles no matter what, you know, even under Moon Jae-in. The thing that changes is, and like nobody wants a nuclear war, nobody wants a nuclear crisis, and everybody wants the alliance to remain intact. And so like all the dilemmas transfer over structural continuity. And so the real thing that changes in my mind is the permissive possibilities for a better world narrow, because we don't have the expressions of rhetoric and signaling that create the space for new possibilities. I have always been super skeptical of this Moon Jae-in piece shit, even though I'm like very simpatico with it. I just look at it structurally. I'm like, I don't see it. If you want this to happen, there needs to be a material basis for it at some point. Never happened. It was always in the ethereal, rhetorical realm. And the thing, even though I was like, you might characterize me as like shitting on all of that, I appreciated all of that because it creates those conditions of possibility for a different future. And those futures are gone in a world where the rhetoric is narrower, where everything is more locked in, hawkish, conservative, status quo bias. And so we, you know, there's a ton of continuity here, but we lost, so we're losing some of the promise, if that makes sense.
Felt almost like wisdom, which is not a word I usually associate with Van Jackson, but oh, Minsun, I had one small addendum to that, but Minsun, did you want to comment? Because I just had a small point.
You can go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to be, you've inspired my own optimism or positive thinking here, Van. Again, a strange thing, not what I expect from you, but I guess we could see the Japan piece, which I tend to be deeply pessimistic about, but you know, that's where his rhetoric opens a possibility. In my view, it's really already entirely up to Kishida and you know, with Abe wherever he is on the wings and kind of those guys, if they want to seize this, they have to realize in a way they obviously did not understand with Park Geun-hye, you don't pocket it and be like, oh sweet, you know, now we finally win. You actually show the sort of gestures, if nothing else, that have been you know, waited for and changes. So I think we could say it does open up space for that. That's one positive.